And as you can see, it's Monday. I'm excited. Had a fantastic weekend. I'm going to talk about it. All right, everyone. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, or wherever you're watching or tuning in. Maybe you're watching on the replay. My name is Robert Blakely. I'm your host of our Monday Mastermind for the Lost Transition. Been doing this now for 5 years. I have not missed a beat. We're excited today, like always. Nothing's changed. It's a Monday. A lot of people don't like Mondays, especially if you're doing the whole 9 to 5 thing, but we here love Mondays. For us that are in the network marketing profession, it's the beginning of our week, right? We get to go out there and change lives, have conversations, do all the other fun stuff that we want to do without having to worry about that whole 9 to 5 thing, right? So, anyway, what we're going to be sharing, this is week 31. Hopefully, you guys are paying attention because we're already, you know, the year is half over now. And we're going to be talking about asking for referrals today. Actually, I should say we're going to be teaching about asking for referrals today. So don't think that by the title you're going to be like, oh, well, how obvious is this, right? We're going to actually give you the psychology of when to ask for referrals and how it should be done and all kinds of things like that that we're going to dig into. But before we get started, what I like to do, as always, is dive in from the audience and find out if you guys have any wins that you'd like to share, especially those of you that have been using the software, using the website, whatever you want to call it, and actually getting some results. Or maybe it's results from the coaching that you guys have been receiving over the past 31 weeks. Love to hear your wins. If you have any wins, go ahead and raise your hand, get in line, and let's get the party started. We do have some things that I want to cover, so it's going to take me a little bit of time. Dr. Lisa, go ahead.
So,
Start us off.
one of the aspects of my business is that I'm a certified holistic health coach,
Okay.
and we have, a referral or affiliate program. And so yesterday I signed up a health coach, and I have two
Okay.
more that
Congrats.
want to be, that have said that they want to become certified holistic health coaches, and they want to refer friends. It's
I
just a
love it.
it's just a one level, as far as I'm concerned, but then they can use it as well. And I'm just thrilled.
I would be too.
And I
Congrats.
want to start them off right,
Sure.
uh, as far as the loss transition as well.
Okay.
So I'm I'm
Here to help
I'm
wherever
I'm
I can.
excited, and I need to figure out how to use this thing.
Okay. Well, you let me know if you need some time to chat about it, and we could book some time using the website itself. But yeah, everything's in there, and I'm excited for you. Congratulations on those new recruits. And I've mentioned it before. Yeah, bring them in here. We'll train them the right way. You know they'll be taken care of without any funny business. So, congrats to you. Kudos. Vicky, what do you have to share?
So many wins as far as actual sales. But what I do have is everything that I've learned in the last couple of years is coming together so nicely now. And it's helping me be able to, understand myself and my brand better, and it's coming out in everything that I do. So I took a step back. I'm not focusing so much on the sale, the sale, the sale. I'm focusing more on making the whole brand fit together, and that's working better and actually drawing attention. So
Cool.
that's
Kudos to
my
you. Well, good for you. And we're going to help you get more sales, my friend. I know that you've got the leads. You and I need to maybe sit down as well and chat and get you using the tools because that's really what it's going to come down to, get you having the conversation. And it's not about the sales. It never should be about the sales. It's really about
oh
using the tools with your contacts so that you have the conversations, right?
Yeah, I do remember another one is, I haven't been really great at doing videos and stuff. Now, I'm not talking about a face video, I'm talking about
Yeah.
a faceless video, but I did 6 of them this week. I have to get
Right
them
on.
out there now.
Cool.
I'm just really excited about the fact that I have something that I can utilize to help me do that, that I understand, and I'm still getting to know, but I love it. They turned out great, so I can't wait to get them out there. Now I'm
Sweet.
working on the verbiage and the captions and the titles to go with it and all that stuff. So
Well, the beautiful thing about that is, number one, you took action, so kudos for that. And then secondly, you can only get better as you use it more and more, right? So I could see you getting better. And look, it doesn't have to be you. You can create an AI clone these days, or you can have somebody else being the spokesperson for you. But like you're at that point where, just me personally, from me to you, I see you've got a lot of things squared away. You've got your branding, you've got the leads. Now we just need to push you forward and have you having the conversations. And you'll start popping off those. I guarantee that, but gotta take the action there, girl. That's that one part that I tell y'all I can't do for you, right?
that's right.
But
Well, I am
congrats.
taking the action and I'm enjoying every step of the way.
Good. Well, congratulations to you, my friend. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Let's schedule some time. Gene, what you got, brother?
Hello, hello, hello. Exciting news. My GIFs or GIFs or whatever you want to call them are now live across all the different social media platforms that utilize Jiffy. And so now it's still kind of hard to find. I got to search for my @ sign and my handle, Gene Has Concerns, to
Love it.
find mine. And they're still not all available just yet. They're still going through the approval process, but I got 13 of them out there right now.
I love it.
So, but it's nice to be able to use those for happy birthday instead of going and copying the image and putting in happy birthday and stuff
Sure.
like that. Just find it real quick. And I'm excited about that. Just more my branding.
That's neat.
Um, and then I got my second top 9 out there, which is still too long. And that's the bad things about using ChatGPT is you tell it to estimate good time to get me in and out in 15, 20 minutes, and 35 minutes later, because it listed so many things to talk about in each subject. So I'm like, no, but now I'm also moving that to Saturdays to record, so it gets released on Sundays, and I don't feel so rushed, so I can
There
control
you
that.
go.
But and then lastly, that company I'm not supposed to share anything about yet, is I uh, uh, apply to be an affiliate now, and Lisa has drugged me into the large talks of the commission plan. So I'm
Okay.
helping to develop the commission plan a little bit, and the owner was on a call Zoom with me, and his right hand man and his new right hand man he just hired, and so we're going through that together to kind of come up with something that's gonna not cost the company too much money, but it's gonna pay nicely to the affiliates when this does get released. So
Right
excited
on.
about that as well, and kind of hoping I can get some sort of consultant fee out of that.
There you go.
be
There you
an
go.
be a continued consultant and an affiliate. So we'll see.
Look, the more you know and then you understand your true value for what it is that you know, the more you can charge. And obviously you want to be open to whatever people are willing to pay. That's the big thing, right? And
Mhm.
then does it commensurate with your time, right? If it all lines up, then absolutely, man, go for it. Kudos
So
to you, brother. Congrats on
hopefully,
the growth. Keep it up. And
appreciate it.
congrats on the Giphy thing. That I love that. And we may implement Giphy, by the way, inside the lost transition for the community portion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been looking at that because I love using GIFs.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something cool. Just as a thought that's coming to my mind to tell you. Maybe you should put together a quick little pamphlet or something like that, teaching people how you got your information on Giphy so that they see it on Facebook. Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah.
Might be just
All right.
something,
Cool.
just something from the universe here to give to you.
But
Thank you for sharing, brother.
thank you.
Anybody else got some wins? Hi, Doria. Hi, Tony. Hi, Jorge. Hi, Johnny. Anybody else I missed? No.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
I
It's
hear you
kind of,
loud and clear.
oh,
How
wonderful. I
are
didn't
you
know if I
today?
put my headphone thing on. I'm at the coffee bunker. Normally, I'm not here on the first Monday of the month, but we got out of our meeting early today, so I'm here. Yay.
Yay! I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah, I can't really I don't really know how to process my wins. But there are some.
Sure.
On a personal note, my 17-year-old niece got her CNA. She's
There you
certified.
go.
So she
That's a
starts
win for
high
the family.
school. I mean, she starts her senior year in a couple weeks, and so she's coming in as a certified nurse assistant. So that's pretty exciting
Very nice.
that we were able to be fruitful this summer.
Amen.
But I also went to ADA, which is the Legal Shield headquarters in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yes, I went to their headquarters office for some training and stuff, met some people, shared my flyer, people are interested
Love it.
in which I would hope to be able to segue into your weekly teachings and maybe your platform. I met a
Ooh,
lady, she's a scheduler.
okay.
So I would think a scheduler would probably would like your system, um, to help out because she gets contracts from other people to help businesses schedule appointments and whatnot. So I'm getting more information about that.
Okay.
I Yeah, I got so many people. I haven't in my mind. I haven't officially launched. I just put a flyer together,
Sure.
and so I have so many people following up. A young guy reached out to me at a 9:30 on a Friday night. Uh, Found one of my old businesses on Google and was wondering why I didn't have a website and found out he was just a young guy getting started about a month ago and he does websites for people. And of course, he doesn't know how to market it. He doesn't know how to, he's like, well, if you want me to do it, I'll do it for this much and
Sure.
I can keep it up for like $10 a month. And I was like, boy, we need to sit down and talk.
Love it. I love it.
Who calls on a Friday at 9:30 p.m. about a website? I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Let's sit down. Let's have a conversation." Found out he's around here in town, and he was just I guess calling random people, and so it's just not even trying yet, not even really putting my feelers out there. Getting random calls and scheduling appointments, going to a community meeting, got an appointment with somebody else, and um, yeah, so it's week is already full and haven't even did anything on purpose yet. So
I
I
love
guess
it.
that's what I would call a win.
Absolutely. There's tons of wins. See, you didn't think you had them or couldn't voice your opinion. You definitely have them. Hey, how are you keeping track of those appointments now? On
Yeah,
Google?
so that's the
Google?
problem because my follow-up game is sucks. So
Okay.
right now it's manageable, but that's what my systems have to be around is keeping up with all the people that are reaching out to me. Because of
Perfect.
course I got more people reaching out to me and more follow-ups than I can handle or my current system
Love it.
can handle. So yeah.
So I do want to encourage you all to, dive in, log in. You guys have your accounts there. Take a peek around. I've done a lot of extra work this weekend on that CRM because that's one of the main tools that we're going to be focused on, right? Because that's our bread and butter. On top of that, I want to, since you guys are here, I would like to have you all do what you can to recommend people come to next week's Monday Mastermind. Because next week's Monday Mastermind, not to give it away, but we're going to go into the CRM and why it's important. One of the biggest things that I'm trying to do here for everybody is so that everybody understands you got to see and look at your calendar. If it's not full of people to talk to, then you've got some work to do. That's the whole purpose of that CRM. But the CRM itself, all you got to do is put the people in there, man, and just do the work, and it'll start filling up. And then there's a notification that'll go up, and it'll say, as an example, I had four things that I got to do today. One was Monday Mastermind. The other three were follow-ups for other people. Because I'm using the software, all I got to do is just go in there and take a look. It will help you out. So definitely invite people to next week's training as well. Obviously, it's free and stuff. I do have a question for you, Dorea, that I don't know if you can help me or not, but maybe you can at least point me in the right direction because that's how cool you are. Um, I was stationed in Germany, and throughout my adventures and travels, have lost everything. So I don't have any of my awards or anything like that. And I went and I tried to submit to find out how to go about getting them. And they said, well, they couldn't find me on record. And then they pointed me to try to call Germany to see if they could tell me what awards I had and how I could get them, so on and so forth. I know that I had an Army Commendation Medal. I had expert driver badge, expert grenade badge. I had a few, and I'd love to get those just so I could put something together, maybe put it on the back of my wall or something. I don't know. Maybe you can help me in that. And then
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, but just real quick.
Yeah.
So that means you don't have your DD
Oh,
214
I have my DD
and
214,
it's
which
not
is
listed?
that's why I'm saying like there's a few things that are on there. That's why I was like I didn't understand why they couldn't find it. But we
Okay.
can talk about that
Yeah.
whenever you have some time because we got to talk anyway sometime.
Yeah.
And then last thing that I want to mention is the flyer that you're giving out. Wow, imagine that. I just can't help but point that out because that was just a training that we did, and it was like, oh, okay, well, let's use this prompt and look what came of it. So again, to you, kudos for taking action, and you can see that that taking of action has a ripple effect, right? It's like that butterfly effect. So kudos to you. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else got any wins they want to share? Man, I'm fired up. Y'all are killing it out there, metaphorically speaking. Rita, you got time? You want to do a dance or what?
Not with this hair looking like this. Not on screen.
Oh man, you got the wrong wig on or what?
Yeah, it was one of those weekends. But on the plus side, um, it doesn't have to do with anything with business, except it does because it frees up time for me. I had my mom asked me to do something for her some time ago, and I know you guys know that I'm using the probate process, um, but I decided to get a couple of my cousins involved to take care of their leg of the family, which is a lot easier because then I don't have to be appointed by the court, which means more money because that's what courts are for more money.
Right, right.
So I was really excited about that. And on the other side, I did get a new recruit that I didn't know I was getting for not for Legal Shield, but it was with the patches X39, and I was not expecting that at all because I had, get this, I made a website for her a year ago. And she came to me to ask me about patches because she checked out my websites, and um, I was floored. That was a gift I was not expecting. So,
Amen.
yep, sowing those seeds, helping people. Kudos to Dorea because out of the mouths of babes, she said something to the effect of just having a conversation. That's what Coach says all the time. Stop
Yeah,
looking for the sale. Just start talking to more people.
I love it. Love it.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here as always. I have a win just in general, going back to what I was talking about, right? The system's working. My win is we got another new student coming on board. Hope to see him inside of our inner circle. Um, and in essence, I'm just using what I built. So uh, it's I have issues if you can't tell with me saying trust me because I know trust me is not the best words to say. So trust yourself. Go take a look. Check it out. Try it. I know it works. Gene, did you have something you want to say?
No, I noticed my hand was down up, and I put it down and actually put it back up trying to clap. So
All right. All right. Thank you. Appreciate you. Anybody else? One last final round? Going once, going twice. Sold the lady in the second row. She's an 8, she's a 9, she's a 10, I know. Let's go ahead and dive in because we do need some time. So respectfully, I want to share the slides with you guys for today. And oh, look at all those beautiful people. So as mentioned, today is, oopsie, wrong button. Week 31. Week 31. So today we're going to cover and talk about asking for referrals. As I mentioned at the very beginning of this, okay, and you guys should know me by now. All the stuff that I teach is it's always going to come from the psychology side of things. What's going to help you and also what's going to hurt you, so to speak, right? Like I want to show you how to do these things, but also how easy it is to screw them up. Part of that is so that if you know both sides of the coin, you can identify or have awareness in what it is that you're doing. As long as you have awareness and you have an understanding, right, and you can correlate those two things, then you can make the shifts or the changes that you need to. And albeit they could be small little shifts that will change momentously, right, or have a butterfly effect on what it is that you're doing. So that's the highest trust lead there is, right? Is somebody like yourself saying, hey, you can see this platform or the training that we're doing here well enough and you trust me well enough by the way, thanks for your trust, to be able to refer somebody else here, right? You guys know that it's a no shadiness environment. They're going to come here, they're going to learn things, and everything is going to be great. But I do have to warn you, this is phase 4 of conversation mastery. This is the end of conversation mastery. So if you again go back from week 1, I mean, I'm not telling you to have to go back to each week, but if there's something that you missed or need to go back to, if you watch from week 1 to week 30, if you've missed anything, you're going to know a lot about what it takes and the kind of verbiage and the conversations that you need to have and the types of posts that you need to post out there to start getting a little bit of attraction, right? So we're going to dive into this and understand too, like this is, as I mentioned, it's not like, oh, well, ask everybody for a referral, right? That's not the way that it works. And you can even blow asking for a referral if you don't do it the right way. So there's certain things that I want to lay down for you, and I trust that you guys will pick them up. So let's have some fun. So here's the warmest lead that you're ever going to get. And also, I like to say an ad, right? The best form of advertising is and always will be word of mouth advertising. So, what can you do to get other people talking about and for you, right? As an example, Dorea, right? Maybe she helps some people and then they're going to go out and say, hey, Dorea is the woman, right? She's the one to go to, right? Or Dr. Lisa, right? Or any one of you guys in this room, what you want is you want to be able to have them sell you, right? That's the warmest lead that you can get is especially a referral. But when we talk about a cold lead, right, and that's starting at zero trust, you have to earn that trust from scratch. But if it's a referral, you already have borrowed trust, is what it's called, right? So again, psychologically, you have to understand that there's a connection and there's a reason that that person is trying to connect you with that other person. So there is trust that you're getting from that other person before you ever even meet the person that they're referring to you, right? Now, here's the cool thing about that is they actually close faster, they buy bigger, and they stay longer. Why? Well, there's a psychology behind it. And when you understand this, once you get into the pipeline and you start doing the compression and the things that we've talked about and teach, you'll start having those sales pop off and they'll start off with like popcorn. And then once everybody goes and they see the goodness that it is that you're selling and what you're doing, then cool, they'll go out and they'll tell other people. And then Again, that just builds more combustion, right? So one happy client though can open a dozen doors and that no amount of cold outreach ever could. So here's what I have to say about this, and I'm sure you guys can grasp this pretty easy. You just never, ever know that one person could literally open up a door. They could know, an entire football team or an entire organization. And as I say that, I get goosebumps because I feel something big is going to happen. Maybe not even just to me, but somebody here in the audience that keeps showing up. But that's that one person. And I've had that happen before to where it was that one person that brought in a bunch of people into my downline, which we all benefited from, right? Especially when it came to the compensation plan. But here's the truth behind it. You're not asking for a favor, right? You're offering to help someone that they care about. This is the magic and important thing that you have to understand, okay? But it has to be like the same way that you help them. So think about, and I'm not, telling you to rate yourself, but maybe you should. You don't have to comment down below. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at serving the public? How good are you at customer service? I can say honestly, I'm like an 11 out of a scale of 1 to 10. I do my absolute damnedest and best. I get back to people quickly, and of course, this is all because I've had the experience too, right? I've done customer service and sales all of my life. That's all I know minus the psychology and all the other stuff that I know now. So ask yourself, are you the type of person that takes care of your people? Because if you're not touching back with them, if you're bringing them in and then, okay, well, you never talk to them again unless they reach out, well, that's a problem, right? That's a problem. That's not going to keep you retaining. And before I go down that rabbit hole, let's change the slide because that's not what we're here about, right? But here's why we don't ask. Okay, there's four things primarily. I think that number two is the should be number one, but we're going to go in order here. Number one, fear of seeming pushy, right? Many times, especially if you're not graduated in the art of sales, so to speak, there's a fear of, well, I don't know, maybe it's too soon, or maybe I shouldn't ask, or again, there's a worry that happens, right? And oh well, I don't want to ruin the relationship. We're pretty good friends. So 9 out of 10 times we stay quiet. The second one is we forget to ask. And part of this I can explain to you honestly. This is going to go back to all the things you hear me talking about when it comes to scripting. And when I mean scripting, I don't mean you reading verbatim from a page. I mean you knowing and understanding your product well enough so that you have particular scripts that you say to everybody that you know works because you've used it time and time again, right? Inside of that script, somewhere along the lines of your method of operations or your daily method of operation, your DMO, whatever you want to call it, we have to include asking for referrals. So if you don't have that in your process right now, open up your system, open up the sticky notes at the very top of the lost transition and type in a sticky note. Or ask your wife, your husband, or somebody to go to the store and get you some real sticky notes, right? But write it down and then put it into your script, put it into your repertoire, put it into your system, because that's what I'm going to call it, okay? Which is part of your asset. You are the asset as well. And then number three, we assume they'll offer. Oh man, I know somebody. They're not just going to offer, right? 9 out of 10 times they won't. If they know somebody, they'll say so. They won't not unless you make the ask, right? But you need to be easy and it needs to be easy and like specific the way that you ask it. Just like when I would have to go to somebody's door and ask them to go get the electric bill, I had to do it a specific way to get them to go do it. Otherwise, if I didn't do it this specific way, they would look at me funny and ask me questions and be like, "Well, who are you again? And where are you from?" Right? So I could go on an entire tangent on that as well. And then number four, we ask at the wrong time. This is a big one too, because again, we're not sure where to place it in. We've got some fear. We forget about it typically because we're just so happy that we got somebody on the hook, so to speak, for a sale, that we're just trying to get through the sale itself, right? So although that's part of it, right? We still want to think about, well, how do we get more incoming business, especially if we're in business, we want that more incoming business, especially if it's coming from a referral, especially if it's that word of mouth advertising, right? So this is why we don't ask. Take note of that. And, check yourself, see what you're doing. Now let's talk about the right moment or the perfect moment to ask. Number one is right after a win. Let's say they just got a result. Oh my God, I used the system, Robert, and it worked just like you said, and I signed up a new prospect. Absolutely perfect. Congratulations. Do you know anybody else that we can help? Did anybody find that very difficult, what I just said? Simple line. Do you know it? Do you know anyone else that we could help? 9 words. Do you know anybody else that we could help? Watch your tonality, the pitch, and how you say it. At the very end, you raise your inflection so it sounds like a question. Do you know anyone else that we could help? Okay. Number two, when they compliment, man, this thing is amazing. I love it. I love your system. I love the products. Oh man, that's awesome. I'm so glad to get that feedback. It's great to hear, positive feedback. Do you know anybody else that we could help? Wait a minute. I'm seeing a pattern here, right? At a natural high point, right? Onboarding excitement. Oh my God, this is great. I love it. Again, it's you guys see where I'm going with this? But you're not going to ask them for a referral before they've had that peak moment, right? Before they found that high, before they got that dopamine hit. You're not going to ask them because it's too soon. And we'll get into that in just a minute. Go ahead, Rita. You have something you want to add?
Yeah, just the difference of how what you just said hits,
Hmm.
because I was trained to say, who else do you know?
Sure.
Which it's kind of, rather than saying, do you know anyone?
Yeah.
So the way that do you know anyone is much softer than who else do you know? I don't know if that affects anybody else, but that's how it affects me, and I like your way better. Same
I,
words,
yeah.
different arrangement.
Right. Remember, you and I have had this conversation, and that's why I jokingly say I talk purdy, and I spell purdy Purty. I don't, if you'll notice my speech pattern and recognition, I tend to talk, at least I think I do. I could be completely wrong, but I believe I do. I try to talk differently and I word things differently. Again, that's just because of the way that I've had to rewire myself. So I might say this word in front of this one when everybody else would say this word this way, right? But I've got a slide for that, so stay with us, Rita. You're gonna love it.
Well, is that part psychology as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and there's a slide. It's coming up. We're going to talk about that. So thanks. Thank you for bringing that up. And then number four is consistently as a habit. That's wherein lies you dropping it into whatever your scripting is. Your scripting, i.e., being after they've had that moment. So now you need to identify, okay, well, they've had that moment. Whenever they've had that specific moment, that's when it needs to trigger you. Oh, this is the perfect time that Robert talked about where we can ask for that referral. Make sense? Right? So write it down, take a screenshot if you need to. Hey, Kenny, glad you made it. All right. So next, I want you guys to connect it to what you guys already know. If you've been here, obviously, from week 1 to 31, you know what I'm talking about. If not, you're going to have to go back and take a look at some of these videos that are in the back office there. Back to referrals being trust compounded, right? We look at week 14 and you're talking about the buying line. You never want to ask for the referral if that customer that you have is not above that buying line or you haven't already sold them. So as an example, let's say I talk to somebody and they're like, well, you know what, Robert, I appreciate it, but it's just not the good timing for me, right? That is not the time for you to ask, oh, well, do you know anybody else that I could help that with? Even though it's the same words, same thing, right? We're just saying it differently, but that's not the time. Again, it's all in timing. So if you pay attention to and recognize the timing in all of this, you'll know, okay, this is the time, right? So when you talk about that referral line for the buying line and referral, that referral is going to end up starting above that buying line if that other person spoke enough high things about it, right? And they're like willing to go and see that meeting. Oh, okay, well, they've spoken very highly of you, right? And when they come in with that, that person's already like, oh, okay, expecting big things, which then, of course, goes back to not making a bad first impression. Then we move into week 29 where we're talking about listening to the close, right? This is where we had to do less speaking, listen more to what that prospect is saying. Well, why is that person bringing them to me? Obviously, they've identified that that person has a problem and that you are that person that's going to help them solve that problem. Why? Easy peasy, because you've already gone through it before, right? So many people, I'm just saying this from my heart, so many people, when they start off in this industry, don't think that they have any value or anything to offer. Well, guess what? You do. You do because you've been through hell and back, I'm sure, by now in life. And there's something in life that you've overcome that you can write about, talk about, that could be there to help somebody else get through it as well. Okay? So if you can find that niche, right, and that you can literally make money from something that you're passionate about or something that you've gone through and overcome. So something to think about there. Just throwing it out there. I feel like I'm going a little fast and we might have some time to open up this conversation after we're done with the slides. But let's go into technique one. How do we do it? Well, we simply ask, right? Again, thinking about asking if you're not thinking about where to place the ask. So maybe write this down, okay? Where do I place the ask? Question mark. So that when you're looking at your notes, you go back and say, oh, okay, well, Robert said place it here. And then again, adjust wherever it is. And then when somebody says something like, hey, I love the product, I love this. Oh, great. Do you know anybody else we can help, right? Or here, the direct ask, who else do you know who'd want the results you just got? I think that's a little cheesy, right? But again, it's the scripting needs to sound like it's something that's coming from you, right? It needs to sound like it's something that's coming from you. So say it a few times. Again, we've talked about this before. Say it in a mirror, rehearse. Say it over and over and over. What sounds good? Listen to your volume, your tonal inflection. Who else do you know that who want the results you just got? I don't know. That doesn't roll off my tongue, right? So do you know anybody else that would want those types of results? That's what comes to my mind. And it rolls right off my tongue. Your version might be slightly different. Feel me? Maybe one or two words. But as long as it rolls off your tongue so that it sounds natural, because you said it a few times, then that's what you will incorporate into it when that specific time hits. So when people are at that peak or they're over that buying line or they've had great results, then boom, that's where you ask that question. Why does it work? Well, they're happy to help, right? They just don't think that you need that help. Uncle Gene will understand this one. Something as simple as a like and a comment on a YouTube video or anywhere, even social, actually helps every single one of us, especially if they're in that industry and they're trying to be seen. Something as little as a like, my friends, right? So it doesn't take much. That like again could be the open door. The algorithm kicks open and we hear dramatic music. Next thing you know, Gene's got a billion subscribers, you know? Right? And then secondly, ask with confidence. If you believe in whatever, asking shouldn't be like it shouldn't be like a knife in your side, right? It should not be. And then say it with conviction, especially if you know that, hey, this is a good product. And I say that too lovingly because many, many years ago, a good friend of ours, Mark Call, used to say, don't sell shit just to sell shit. Right. So if you're in business and you don't feel very confident about your product and services, then obviously it's going to be more difficult for you to even sell. And why would you even try? Right? Because then you're just beating yourself. Anyway, we won't go down that rabbit hole or roller coaster ride there. All right, here's technique 2 and 3. So here's why you do it to where it's just conversational, right? Like Dorea, we're just having conversations. Get it? That's all. We're just knowing what to say because we have a conversational specialist named Robert Blakely that's here to be our coach to help you out, right? But if you ask vaguely, then it's going to get vague results, going back to what Rita had brought up into mind, right? So you want to be specific. Know anyone gets a blank stare, right? Do you know anyone? Know anyone what? Right? So you want to narrow it down so a face literally pops into their mind. And this is the psychology part of things. So who's the one person you know who's most fed up with their 9 to 5? If that's what's relative to the conversation. If you're talking to this person and you've discussed, hey, this is the vehicle that's going to get you out of that 9 to 5, then something like this is what you would want to say. Everybody with me? Again, write it down, make it your own scripting. What sounds good rolls off of your tongue. Who's the one person you know who's most fed up with their 9 to 5? For me, that doesn't really roll off the tongue, right? I might say something like, "Oh, that's fabulous." Do you know anybody else who's fed up with their 9 to 5? See how you do that? Just effortlessly. It just comes to me. And then that's that second part on the right, making it easy. You do the heavy lifting for them by the words that you're speaking. And in fact, what you're doing psychologically is you're implanting the brain to paint a picture, which I've spoken about before. And if you can paint the picture of the actual person inside their brain, guess what? Rita comes to mind as an example. There's this person, Dr. Lisa, that I can think of. You know, there's this guy, Johnny, that does these marathons. He's always running, right? But the easier you make it on their brain, the more referrals that'll come out. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? I mean, this is literally it's the gold that we like to drop here. It's understanding the psychology of that side and why or when you should and shouldn't ask. And if you do it the right way, you say the right words, you're triggering their brain. You're making their brain work without them knowing that you're making their brain work. Right? All right. So that's enough of that fun stuff. You can see how passionate and fun I get on this stuff. Now let's talk about technique 4. Close the loop. This is very important. And when I say close the loop, there's two different at the time that I'm thinking about. There's two different things that we talk about when it comes to closing the loop. One can be the sale itself. The second can be the referral, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. Not the sale itself and closing the loop to benefit yourself, which you've probably heard me say before. But this is how to treat the referral decides if you get another. Okay, so number one, act on it fast. Somebody says, "Hey, yeah, there's this person, Vicky, that I'm thinking about. Oh, great. When's the best time to reach out and have a conversation with this? Right? Are you going to set up the 3-way or how do you want to do this? Right? But act on it fast, number one. And then number two, thank the source. Oh man, I appreciate you thinking about me. Like again, it's just a conversation. Wow. I kept like I'm flabbergasted that you would even think about me. I'm humbled that you would think about me. Insert your lines, insert your words there, right? Thank the source because if you make them feel good about what they did, guess what? They want to feel good again, right? Everybody's addicted to something, if nothing else. It's the dopamine, and that's the feeling. Y'all understanding where I'm going with this? Yeah. You see the psychology and the feeling and what I talk about, why it works, right? It's not a sale. It's transferring that emotion by closing the loop and or asking the right questions, saying the right things so that it's conversational and it triggers in their mind to get clear pictures for them to make the decision. Say, you know what? I need this. And when they need it, it's effortless. You don't have to sell. Then they're like, okay, I need what you're teaching. I need what you have. I need that product. I want to be part of what it is that you're doing, right? So a referral is a trust on loan. The bottom line there. Honor it well, and the same person refers you again and again, right? I can say thank you for those of you that have already referred people to the lost transition. You didn't have to do that, but you did. Appreciate y'all. We're gonna all make money together. We're all gonna build our business, and we're gonna make some fantastic things happen. Stay close to the fire. Use the tools. Don't be the tool. Right? And then referral scripts that work. Remember me saying earlier about scripts? Oh my God. How do I do this? How do I do this, universe? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I could say every day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Right? Here's what to say. So after win, so glad this worked for you. Who else comes to mind that deserves the same? Again, if it doesn't roll off your tongue, change the scripting so that it works for you. But what's the specific ask? Who's the one person that you know most ready for a change? What are you asking there? What are the words? Anybody?
Deserve.
Nope. Close, but nope. There's one word in there. I'm giving you a hint.
Help,
Huh?
help.
Nope.
Ready?
Nope. There's one word in there. I'm giving you the clue.
One.
There it is. That's it. That's it.
She's our A student.
That's it. You're just asking for one. One. All right? Because if you go and you ask, hey, do you know anybody or do you know a group of people that I could speak in front of as an example? No, we're only looking for one, right? So make it easy. So I'll draft a quick intro and you could just forward. Sound good? Here's the part I want you guys to pay attention to where I said make it easy. And I'm telling you this for a reason, again, from prior experience, right? If you want to get more referrals, do these things that we're teaching you about. And this has to come from, and I know you guys are going to understand this as soon as I say this, right? If I go and I try to explain something to somebody and I say, cool, is there anybody else that you can think of that I could help or that we could help out? They say, yeah, this guy, Tom, I'm gonna talk to him tonight. I would say something like, hey, I can draft you a quick intro if you like. Like, would that be good? That's off the top of my head and sounds natural for me, right? Why am I doing this? Because again, that guy is not the salesperson. He's not going to be able to sell me to Tom the way I can sell myself to Tom, right? And he might just go up there, hey, there's this guy you got to meet, right? Tom's going to be like, ah, screw that guy. I ain't got time for that, right? I'm telling you, it happens. It's all psychology and what they say at that moment in time. And they might even ask Tom for that third party referral when he's in the middle of a conversation or an argument with his wife. Maybe his steak dropped on the floor. He's all pissed off or something, right? Again, the timing thing comes into play. Right. So here's the do versus don'ts on the right hand side. Do ask at a peak of goodwill. We've talked about that. Just so we can round out the class for today. Be specific, narrow the search. We're only looking for what? One. Right? Because if they bring you one person and then that one person comes in and they do the work and they get results, guess what? they're going to want to bring you one too. And when they do that, the other person can say, oh, wait a minute. I can't have that person bring in more people and get more help than I am. And then it's about keeping up with the penders, huh, Rita? Joke, joke, joke. Inside joke there.
Got it.
Right? So do ask, get a peek of goodwill, be specific, narrow the search. You're only looking for one. Make forwarding effortless. Hey, I can write something up for you, make it easier. Thank and update the source. Yeah, I reached out. They said, yes, we're going to meet on the 30th. Keep them in the loop, right? That's part of that closing the loop portion. And then these are the don'ts. Don't ask before you've delivered any kind of value. Hello. Hey, you know anybody else I can help, even though I haven't helped you? Not one bit. Right? And then don't say vague on know anyone, know anyone, know anyone, know anyone I can help, know anyone we can help, know anyone. I don't know. Get your script in order. Don't pressure or guilt them into it either. This is the big, big mistake. Oh, come on. You gotta know one person. Anybody ever heard that before? Oh my God. It's like I know several, and I'm not gonna tell you none of them. Right? And then don't forget to close the loop. But make it easy and gracious, right? And referrals, they will start coming to you. Again, this is a process. You have to understand, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's a process. But if you do the process, and it goes all the way back to what we talk about with just the 5 conversations per hour, or even 5 per day to get started, right? Next thing you know, you're going to have 5 people per day that you need to talk to, and they're specifically coming to you about a business opportunity. Now that's where your closing percentages come in. Say, okay, well, out of 5 people, I closed one of them. Cool. Well, you got 20% closing ratio. Now we look at that. We say, well, where were the issues? What happened good? What was bad, right? What can we improve on? Next thing you know, hey, you got another day with 5 people. You talk to them, oh, this time you get 2 out of the 5. Holy crap, you're getting better and better. But you're never going to know unless you go to the very beginning and see where you're at. Okay, so that's also embedded for you guys there in the CRM. So take a look at it. I know you'll love it. I do. Here's the referral killers. Never asking at all. Obviously, if you don't ask, you're never going to get a referral. The second one is the vague ask. Know anyone who would be interested? Right? Again, bring value, solve problems in people's life, and then things just become super easy. Third is asking too early before you've done anything for them. And then make them do the work, making them do the work. Like, yeah, man, here's my phone number. Here's my phone number. Give it to them and ask them to give me a call. Right? I don't know if you guys remember me telling that story. We had a we had a product that we were promoting, so to speak, or sharing with other people. It was a gas tablet that would give you better gas mileage. Loved the product. It was absolutely fabulous. And the compensation plan was pretty decent as well. And I had one lady that joined my business and joined the business. And she decided, she's like, here's so and so. She wanted me to call the guy and tell him all about it. I'm like, this is not how it works, right? Again, this is the part you have to do. You have to do the conversation. If nothing else, if you're in my downline or something, you got to at least make that third party connection. But I'm not going to get on the phone and reach out for your prospects. That's not going to happen. Right? And then fifth, never thanking the source, right? If you just like, oh, cool, person brought you 5 referrals, you didn't say thank you, send them a card or say anything, they'll stop sending you referrals. Guarantee you. This happens very big in the business to business world. Man, if you set up stuff in the business to business world, you'll have the local businesses, back and forth, giving each other value, right? And then last but not least, dropping the referral. That's the worst thing that you could do is to drop that referral, never get back to them, never reach out, and then never close that loop, never connect with the other person. because that other person could help you get to that person, right? You say, "Well, I've been trying to reach out to him, man, but no dice. You want to reach out to him and set something up, you know, but dropping the referral is the worst thing you could do, obviously. So, at this particular point in time, I'd love to hear your takeaways. I want you to think about this week too. Like, who are three happy clients? Maybe you have three people that you brought into your organization here recently, and maybe those people you could ask for a referral from this week, right? I want you to sit down, think about it. If you can, name them right now. Number two, write a specific ask, narrow it enough that one real face pops up into their mind. We spoke about this briefly, right? It's part of your script, but then just ask that one person. Make sure that it says in your script, one person. Do you know one person that we might be able to help as well? As an example. And then number three, what's your system to always ask and always thank, right? For me, it's an automatic trigger only because it's been wired in for so many years. Oh man, that's fabulous. Anybody else that we can help out, right? And then where will it live? So you never forget. Mine lives right back here. Right back here. I could touch it. That's where mine lives. A little NLP for you people that know. So, any takeaways? Love to hear you guys. What'd you get out of this? You guys get some value? Now's your time to shine. Go ahead, Gene.
Well, something you remind me of that I remember being trained on years ago, the psychology of it was before even asking for that referral, planting that seed throughout your presentation
True.
and saying that affirmative, uh, asking that affirmative question. Obviously, we all know someone that could benefit from this. Now, nobody's going to say no to something that's obvious to everybody else, number one. And then number two, you're planting that seed, and now you got to take that beat for a little bit, get a sip of your water, something. Don't continue writing your presentation because then that's when they're thinking, oh, Rita could benefit from this, and so you plant that seed and then you keep going. So then when it comes time for that referral and they're asking and they're sold or about that sale line, they've already got that name right there. They had to stop and think about it. And maybe by then they've also thought about three or four other people at the same time. So, and you do it a couple of times during the whole presentation by wording it differently.
I love that. I love that. And that's something that maybe we should have brought up or brought into those slides. So, and I know we haven't talked about this a lot, Gene, but I know that you know some of these psychology things. I know I could tell that just from the conversations and your feedback and the value that you provide. But I like what you're saying there because this is true. You can plant the seed. What I wrote down was within the presentation, right?
Mhm.
So let's say once you're able to go through this, hey, maybe you might know somebody else that we can help out as well before you even get that win, so that when you get the win, hey, so very good, great
One other
feedback.
thing you remind me about too is if you know they're a no, not even a maybe, they're a no,
Yeah,
and you still ask for that referral, um, and let's say I'm asking you, Robert, and you say, well, sure, Rita might be interested in this.
yep.
Now it doesn't hurt when you're presenting to Rita and she's ready to buy to say, listen, Robert referred you. We both love Robert. He's a great guy. Would you mind if I asked him if he would like to benefit from you getting on board before I benefit?
There's a lot of
You
words.
both get to go back to Robert and say, hey, Rita's getting on board. And you're not saying it this way, but
Yeah.
the the gist of it is, do you want the commission or do you want me to get the commission? But that's not the way you would say it,
Well,
So
that's
there's
a
always a way
way.
to wrap back around to that person.
Right, right. And that's a lot of words that could be said, obviously, very a lot clearer so that
Yes.
people understand the intention and whatnot. But what you're getting at, so we have that for the record, is don't be afraid to ask for the referral if somebody tells you no.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If somebody tells you no, well, what's it gonna hurt, right? Like you
Exactly.
already gotta know. It's not gonna hurt to say, oh well, maybe this isn't for you. Do you know anybody else that might fit the bill? Right? Or might, now that you know everything, do you know anybody else that, you can think of?
That's funny because I thought you were gonna say, "Do you have somebody else that is an absolute no?" I would love to talk to them. I'm collecting notes.
That is hilarious. Oh my God, that is hilarious. That takes me back to my door-to-door days. Oh my God. Like to where people would say like, "Oh, I can't do that." And you'd be like, "Sure you can. All I need is just your okay right here." And they'd be like, "Oh, okay." And they just sign. I love it. Jorge, what do you got, brother?
Well, I actually put a comment there
Oh,
in the chat because that happened to me. I had a conversation with a lady out of a couple of platforms that I've been a part of, and she decided to use a software to ask for a referral. And man, if that thing is very annoying. And I'm not going to refer anybody just because I had a conversation with them. I had to see, I had to see that that person can really provide more value to be able to refer.
sure.
So
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. I
yeah.
mean,
This
even
this
that.
this is a
Go ahead.
great lesson as always. So thank you.
Good, good. Thank you. I'm glad you got some value out of it. Yeah, I mean, think about that too, like what Hort had just said. I mean, no one's going to go out there and just automatically want to refer what it is that they have or what they purchase unless they see the value in it, right? But until that moment of value kicks in, they're not going to want to go and refer people. So if you go and ask beforehand, well, what does that do? Now that screws up your, your second impression, so to speak. Go ahead, Rita.
Just have a question.
Sure.
The in with my group accounts, I do get their birthdays and I send out cards. So what if my I have an online application because we don't take paper ones well you can, but generally we don't take them anymore. They're all done online.
Right.
Um, because it's faster, it's less
Save the
mess.
trees.
Yeah, exactly. So, how do you ask when someone signs up? How would you ask for their birthday, just day and month, not to offend them?
I think for me, first off, I would build the relationship first before asking for it, or have
Okay.
it somewhere in a form that they could fill out.
Okay. All right, I have to work on that form. And I'm saying that because I want them to know why I do that.
Well, even on that form, right? You can say, birthdays, I want to be able to send you a card. I want to be able to celebrate your birthday. You
Okay.
know, if
Would
you
that
say
be
you want to celebrate their birthday, like, I don't see anybody that's going to be like, no, you can't celebrate my birthday. How dare you? Like, everybody loves their birthday. It's their birthday. I mean, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but for the
Well,
most
and you
part.
could also give them an option, birthday or anniversary. We would like to remind you, honor you.
Yeah,
Would the birthday or anniversary be best?
there you go. Just
okay?
want to
And
recognize you
and
and
then if
make
they
your
say
day
birthday,
special.
you got to give them the birth.
Yeah, man. I
Choose
like
one.
making people's days special.
So do you make the form like you can't go any further unless you fill out one or the other?
Well, I don't think I would do that only because you want to think about the least path to resistance, right? And if it's like, well, they want my birthday or I can't move forward, that might make them close it out. I'm like, screw you, you can't have my birthday.
That
I
that
want
was a
people. Some people don't want people to
that
know what their birthday is.
that actually was a joke, but I enjoyed the explanation.
Ah, all right. Cool. Glad I could amuse. Do I not entertain you? Or is better, are you not entertained? Cool. Gene, go ahead.
And also, Rita, on the birthdays is, if you're creating a form that they're going to be filling out, just tell your story right there in a little paragraph. I love celebrating people's birthdays. I love birthdays. So please share your date of birth with me. And then parentheses make a joke out of it. Not the year. I don't need to know that or something. And that it gets a laugh out of them. It change. How do you word it, Robert? It changes their state.
Yep.
Yeah, and they'd probably be more happy to give the month in the day. So.
So, two feedbacks for that. No, please. We never ask for please. That's a forbidden word. But the great place to put that in to answer your question, Rita, is the join email.
Okay.
Know what I mean? Set up your join email so that once they do join, you slide them over, they get that email that's automatically sent out for you. And inside there, hey, fill out this quick form. I'd love to know more about you. Celebrate your birthday.
Gotcha.
Boom, done.
Okay.
All right.
DeRay, which slide? Which slide?
Which one? Oh,
Oh,
some slide. Is
oh,
it this
she's
one?
left. She said send her the.
This one.
Okay.
Okay, so
All right.
this is the challenge here, right? For this week, I want you to ask 3 happy clients for a referral this week. Mention that. Use a specific ask and make it easy. Who's the one person? Remember that magic word is one. Who's the one person you know most ready for a change? Change the scripting. Make sure it rolls off your tongue. But next week, this is why I'm going to ask you. Just invite one person. Can y'all think of one person right now that would love this information, that could value this information, could grow from this information? If it's a yes, put it down in the chat area and just do us a kind favor and invite one person. Right? I know they'll get some value out of it. So next week, 32 is very, very important. And why I'm asking for this because, as I mentioned at the very beginning, this is the end. Today is the end of the last phase of conversation mastery if you guys have been paying attention. So if you went through the conversation mastery part, you should be very well versed on what to say, when to say it. Next week, we're going to dive into a new phase, okay? We're going to start talking about systems and ultimately the CRM being your ATM. I need this to be driven home to you guys so that you understand once you get your systems and your organization in place, you're going to turn those scattered contacts that you have right now into a machine that prints follow-ups and referrals. Who would like that? If you'd like that, raise your hand and make sure you're here next week. I did not see Virgil today. Just kind of noticing that at the end of the hour. So I will open the room tomorrow for How To Tuesday. If you guys like to join me, I don't know. I'll figure something out. Maybe even better, come join me tomorrow for How To Tuesday, especially if you're a paid member. And we'll go through the email portion of setting those up so that we can all get squared away and dialed in. So again, once you guys go and set up your emails for your business, then it's just having the conversations, taking them, put them in there, having the conversation, sliding them from one thing to the next, and then let the calendar and the follow up work out for you. Then, boop, oh, look, there's 5 people I got to follow up with today. Let's build that calendar. Let's build that pipeline. Let's get that compression moving for you guys so that you start getting those sales like popcorn. Sound good? Awesome. Thanks for your time. Let's go out there, kick ass, take names. We'll see you tomorrow. Toot. Love you. Bye bye. Oh, let me stop this share. Anyway, bye for now.